Are you looking for ways to build your practice or connect with more of your ideal patients? Perhaps you're already busy but need ways to simplify or level up your practice management. Whatever your needs, we've got you covered. Introducing My Appointments, a revolutionary all-in-one practice management solution that will stimulate practice growth, reduce administrative burdens, decrease running costs, and help you build and manage your ideal practice. With multiple inbuilt services including appointment keeping, payment processing, customizable online intake forms, high caps, and secure client records, My Appointments has everything you need in one user-friendly place. Our integrated online payment gateway and instant high caps processing will help you stay on top of your invoicing with no setup or monthly fees or the need for a terminal. Our free practitioner app helps you manage your practice while on the go, including processing payments, taking treatment notes, or booking appointments no matter where you are. From their app, patients can also keep track of upcoming appointments and pay invoices, view prescribed products and treatment recommendations, as well as book appointments 24/7. By simplifying practice management, My Appointments will help your business thrive so you can focus on what you do best, treating your clients. Unlike other platforms that charge hundreds of dollars per month, My Appointments is free, no ongoing or upfront fees. Simply pay for what you use. Our competitively priced paid features include SMS starting from 11 to 15 cents per message and payment processing at 1.5 plus 25 cents per transaction. No hidden costs and no other fees. As a valued member of Massage and Myotherapy Australia, we have a special offer for you. Not only do you get first access to our platform once launched, but you'll also receive SMS messages for just 9 cents, plus 50 free. And if you are a certified specialist, you'll receive 100 free SMS messages. By delivering simplified business and marketing solutions and connecting more patients to practitioners, we can help you maximise the potential of your business. Your success is our success. My Appointments, by practitioners, for practitioners.
Okay, hello everybody. If you can hear me, please type a little message in the chat box. Let's give it another few minutes. Hello, David. Thank you. That means you can hear me. That's fantastic. Excellent. Fantastic. Well, thank you, everybody. It's wonderful to have you here today. Just a quick little background on me. I am a myotherapist. I've been practicing now for nearly 20 years. And I started my clinic when I was 19. In my final year of myotherapy, I worked with a chiropractor as a massage therapist. And by the end of that year, that chiropractor decided to move to another practice and it wasn't feasible for me to follow him. So kind of got put in a position to take over the practice. I was only working 2 days a week because I was still studying full time at that time. But I decided to take the lunge and start my own clinic. And I had another myotherapist that just graduated with me. So between the two of us, we managed to get a very busy natural or myotherapy clinic up and running. Now, in that time, I bought a house a couple of years later, converted into a clinic, and then built it into a multidisciplinary practice. From there, I decided to open up a Pilates studio, and then not long after that, I decided I needed to have a gym as well. So I hired out or leased out a very big warehouse and built 6 treatment rooms, a Pilates studio, and then a gym. And then the year later, took on the warehouse next door and built in additional group fitness classes as well. So I've got a lot of experience building businesses from the ground up. Now, my business partner, Claudia, And a couple of years ago, looking into the National Health and Medical Research Council's review, decided that we really wanted to do something that was going to really support the natural healthcare industry. Now, for those of you that don't know, the National Health and Medical Research Council is Australia's peak medical research body. Now, in about 2015, they ran a review that basically said that 16 popular natural therapies lacked evidence of effectiveness. Myotherapy and massage were included in that list, as were naturopathy, Pilates, yoga, herbal medicine, and a whole bunch of other therapies. Now, as a result of that review, rebates have been axed for all of those disciplines, but thankfully the myotherapist and massage therapists were saved. So recognizing that there was considerable barriers that natural healthcare practitioners were facing, we decided to come up with a platform that will help practitioners. Now, the purpose of our platform is several-fold, I should say. The first is that we are trying to save you money. So that is why our platform has no monthly fees. We do have a paid option as well, and I'll run you through those shortly. But our goal was to streamline your business, to reduce your administrative burdens, and to help you save time and money. Now, when I first started my clinic, I couldn't afford a receptionist, as I'm sure most of you will understand and appreciate. It took me a while before I could afford those extra wages to make that possible. So what I've done essentially is taken all of the things that I found hard about my practice, the things that I never had time to do, the things I didn't enjoy doing, and basically found a way to automate them. Now, I'm going to show you the platform shortly, but the first thing I want to do is show you our pricing structure. So a lot of people wonder why we are free. Now, our primary goal was to try to save practitioners money. So we came up with a business model that will allow us to charge no monthly fees and just allow you to pay for what it is that you use on our platform. So the only paid features that we have are SMS messages, video consultations, and we've got a payment gateway. So you effectively could get rid of your terminal completely and process all of your payments through our integrated online payment gateway. Now, that payment gateway is 1.5% plus 25 cents. So for those of you that are using Square, that's considerably cheaper than Square. If you're using PayPal, you know that's significantly cheaper than PayPal as well. But even with incredibly small margins, we believe that we can create enough funds to be able to manage our platform long term as well. So the most popular obviously is going to be the $0 per month plan. And then we've also included a $25 a month plan for those who don't want to use our payment gateway. So provided you sign up to the payment gateway, you'll get unlimited calendars. If you're on the free plan, on the paid plan, you'll only get 2. Both accounts have online bookings, online intake forms. Both have access to our apps on Android and iOS. Access to reporting features, access to high caps as well, so you can process high caps online without needing a terminal. If you sell or manage any products, you can also sell them through our platform as well. And then SMS costs. So if you, whichever plan you're on, the prices are the same, but the SMS costs are 15 cents with a minimum purchase of $20 or 11 cents with a minimum purchase of $100. However, Massage and Myotherapy Australian members actually get messages at 9.9 cents GST inclusive, and you only have to spend a minimum of $20. Telehealth doesn't relate to you guys. And then, as I said, the online payment. Now, with the online payment processing, it means you can collect prepaid appointments. You can allow your clients to pay their invoices online at the click of a button, and then allow your clients to reorder any products that you might have prescribed as well. Now, there is one other additional fee, and that is if you are using our payment gateway, our payment processors charge a 25-cent fee every time they deposit money into your account. Now, you can choose to have your funds deposited daily or weekly, but there is a 25-cent fees that our payment acquirers do charge in order to process that. So essentially, when you process any payments through our platform, the payment processor will take care of everything. The money is deposited into your account at the specified time frame that you prefer, so either 24 hours, as I said, or weekly, and then they'll deduct that 1.5% plus 25 cents before they've deposited that money into your account as well. Now, we will have time for a Q&A, so if that's not clear, I certainly will be available to answer any questions as well. Now, this is what the My Appointments platform looks like. The first thing I want to show you is how user-friendly it is. Now, we did a survey of most of your members and found that The biggest barrier for people using, I shouldn't say the biggest, one of the barriers for people using a practice management system was the fact that they weren't tech savvy and they didn't think they'd be able to use it. The other biggest barrier was the cost, and that is why we went with this free model. Now, when you first set up your account, you'll be taken through to our setup wizard. Now, this is a pre-populated account already. This is our demo account. But when you first come in here, all of these will be blue. And then when you complete each step, it takes you to the next one. So the first one is to set up your hours, your business details. Then you'll set up your services. If you sell any products, setting up your reminder messages, online bookings, video consultations, invoices, your intake form. If you're using our integrated high caps processing, you'll enter your API key, and I'll explain that more a little bit later. And then if you want to add the calendar onto your website or any website, all you need to do is copy and paste this code. Now, once you've done that, it'll take you through to the calendar. Now, a couple of the features I wanted to show you is our invoice. So here you can customize your invoice to whatever you want. For example, if you've got a logo, you'll obviously leave your logo on and it'll show up on the invoice. And any details you want to put onto your invoice will be populated here. Now, if you're not using high caps and you're giving your clients an invoice to claim, in this notes section, you can put a list of all of your service, your provider numbers for all of your health funds. What that means is when the patient has the invoice, they can take it and all of the provider numbers are easily there on the bottom for your health fund to be able to claim back for your clients. You can then customize the message that you want to go to your clients as well.
Hi, Anil. Sorry to interrupt. Just really quickly, we're not seeing the demonstration.
Oh, okay. Let's try this again then. Okay, can we see now? Is this the pricing page?
It's just loading, I believe.
Yeah.
The perfect price page.
Excellent. All right, I'll run through the prices again a bit later. You've obviously heard the pricing structure, so we'll run through it a little bit later as well, but I'll just go back to the start and just quickly show you the setup wizard again. So here it is, again, step-by-step process. Just fill in all of the details that relate to you, skip any that don't. And then when it comes to your invoices, you just click this button, specify what settings you want to have on your invoices, put your provider numbers in here, and everything shows up. Now, if you're using high caps or you've got a specific provider number, we do show one provider number on the invoice, but unfortunately, as most of you know, we have multiple provider numbers. So if you do need to add extra, you'll just pop them in here as well. Okay, the embed calendar, again, if you want to put your calendar onto your website or any website, you just need to copy in this code and just paste it. That is all you need to do. And that puts a little book now button on your website. And once they click that, your clients will be able to book their own appointments through your website as well. Now, your online settings for online consultations. If you allow online consultations, you just need to turn this on here. You'll specify which services are available for online consults, whether you want to request payment up front or not from your clients, and then you'll put a cancellation message, and this message will appear in front of your clients every single time they book an appointment. Now, the purpose of that is that we really want to strengthen cancellation policies. It's not necessarily so that you are charging more people. It's just for them to understand that you do have a policy in place and that you may choose to charge them if they don't honor whatever your cancellation policy might be. All these settings are adjustable here, but then our intake form settings are here as well. So if you want to create an intake form, we've already prepared one for you. And you'll see here that we've pre-populated all of the conditions that you might want to ask your clients. If you want to add to the list or remove any from the list, you can do that here. Now, all of this is already pre-populated for you, but you can turn it off. And these are typical things that we would be asking our clients. So obviously details of their health history, any surgeries, smoking, alcohol, supplements, family history. And then this is a section that you can create on your own as well. Now we've got a current complaint section. You can turn this off or leave it on and adjust what we've provided, but this is where obviously we'll be finding out the reasons for their consultation. And then you can further customize your own section here. So if you've got something that you want to run on any specific topic, you can then have your answers as yes or no answers or written answers as well. So that's what a pre-populated section would look like. If you're using our integrated online high caps processing, You can also request that your clients provide their health fund details, which saves you from having to do anything when they come in for their consultation. And then we've got a consent section here that we've suggested, but you can customize it completely. Now, when you send the intake form, it looks like this one here. So the client just needs to go in, fill in their details, emergency contact, and then we've got this referral source. So it's really important that we collect and find out how our clients found out about us so that we know where to invest our money for marketing as well. So if they've been referred by an existing client and they enter it here, it'll actually populate onto the client card for you and put them onto a referral list so that you can easily send an SMS message to thank the person who referred this client. And I'll show you that a little bit later as well. So here's the health history. They'll just click anything that's relevant, answer any fields that are relevant. Now, if they've got any test results, they can upload the test results on their intake form, and all of that is populated into the client card, and same with their private health insurance details as well. They'll consent to treatment and marketing. They'll type their name, they'll click save, and then on your practitioner account, you'll get a notification up here saying that an intake form has been received. Now, when you go to the client's file, you'll be able to see all of the data there as well. So this is what our client files look like. And again, all of this data has been pre-populated for you from the intake form itself. Okay. Now you can see here in this instance that this patient was referred by Samantha Ferguson. So Samantha Ferguson is now going to go into the referral list. If they've opted in or out of SMS, you'll find that here. All of the health history information you'll find through here. Test results that they've uploaded. You can just click on the button and then view the test results there as well. Any of their appointments that they've got booked into the system, including their appointment history, as well as a status. Tick means that they've arrived, X means that they've cancelled, and if there's a little dash icon, that means that they missed the appointment. Now, these ones here that are blank are just not processed appointments. All of their invoices are here. You can easily filter and send this out to your clients. However, there's no need because everything is populated on their section as well. Their payment details, any claims or concession, their health fund details are all here. And then any treatment notes that you've had or left for this client as well. From here, you can just go in and book your client. You can reschedule them. You can send them an SMS, or you can obviously call them as well. All right, so the next thing I'm going to show you is the main dashboard. So you can see we've got a really nice, clean, simple design here as well. If you're a multidisciplinary clinic or multimodality clinic, you can actually change your calendars here. If you're in multiple locations, you can click and change your calendars here. If you want to come back to today at any time, if you want to change your view, all of the buttons are up here. So now I'm looking at a month view to see how busy my calendar is for the month. You can change it to day view, or you can view it in week view as well. Now, I've also put a little search button here. When you're looking for a client, you just need to type their name, and then it shows you a list of all of their upcoming appointments as well. You can view your takings from here, and then we've got a waitlist feature too. So if you've got any clients on a waitlist, you'll be able to add them here to your waitlist. And then what we're developing as well is the ability to select all of your clients. Go send selected, and then you can send them a message that says an appointment has just become available, first in, best dressed, and that way you don't have to ring around to any of your clients on your waitlist to try to fill that spot. And then we've got all of these little icons. So obviously you'll see there's different colors. They just represent the different types of appointments that you're booked in for. You'll see here that there's a paid stamp, which means that that appointment has been paid for. There's a little tick here, which means that the client has arrived, and you can check them in yourselves, or the clients can actually check themselves in from their app too. I'll show you that a little bit later. And then if their appointment has been confirmed, you'll see a little C button appear here as well. Now, you'll also notice there's that icon. That means that this client missed this appointment, and this one is a cancelled appointment. Now, I spoke earlier about strengthening our cancellation policies. If you are somebody who does charge a cancellation fee and certainly feel it was warranted, then we've made it really easy to process that as well. So when you process a payment on our system, you can elect to store the patient's card, and when the client uploads their credit card to pay for something, they can elect to store it as well. So if they do it on their end, it'll appear on your end, and you can easily process payment in seconds. They'll get a copy of the invoice as well, so that way you don't even have to worry about sending them a copy of the invoice. Now, in this case, if I wanted to mark this appointment as missed, I just need to click this button and it says, would you like to mark this appointment as missed? You'll say yes. And then it asks you, do you want to charge a cancellation fee? And if you do, you'll click invoice. And then all you need to do is specify that it's a cancellation fee, put your cancellation amount. And then if you want to send the invoice to your client, you'll just put the amount paid as 0 and it'll show up on your client side as an outstanding invoice. However, if you've got the client's card on file and you've given them forewarning that they're going to be charged a cancellation fee, then all you need to do is type in the amount, click the payment method and proceed from there. Now, while we're here, I'm going to show you how HiCaps works. Now, it's not a system that runs through us. We've just built in an API key with a company called MediPass, and they deal directly with HiCaps. Okay? So the way it works is that you go to MediPass and you sign up for a free account. Now, there are no fees to process HiCaps. So if you've got an existing terminal, there's no $25 fee per month. There is no fees for processing the health fund. However, there is a fee for processing the gap, as you expect to pay with your current terminal. Now, the gap can be processed through our system. Our rates are much cheaper than MediPass's rates are for processing the gap. And MediPass also has some strict guidelines about what products you can sell as well. So it's best to process the gap through our system or cash or whatever other means you use to process cards as well. But if you are processing a HiCaps payment, all you need to do is click on HiCaps. You'll put in the amount of the consult, which should be pre-populated on our system. And when you click process, this API, this screen shows up through MediPass. Now, all of your client's details will be saved on our system. Now, if your client hasn't updated them, you will need to put them on the system once only, and then they're tokenized and stored on MediPass's server so that you don't need to re-enter the private health insurance details for your clients. Everything is, as I said, pre-populated here. Your item code, so when you set up your services and fees, you'll specify what the item code is so that passes through to HiCaps. And then all you need to do is click continue to payments. Now, what happens is, that's an invalid date of birth here. Let me just fix that one up there. That should work now. So once you click continue, you'll get this message and your client will get an SMS message to their phone. Now, there's no charge for that SMS message. It comes through MediPass, and all your client needs to do is click approve, and then they'll click in person to pay the gap amount. And once that's processed, our system gets updated with the amount that was rebated and also the gap payment. And then you just go through and process the gap payment as well. So it's really simple. No need to swipe cards anymore. No need to select the item code or anything like that. It's super simple and really streamlined when you're using it through the My Appointments platform. All right, so that is a very quick rundown. To book an appointment, it's really simple. You can click here to quick add an appointment or a client, or you can just click on an available time slot. So anything that's in grey means that they're not your traditional hours that you're working, and anything in this lighter blue is where you'd be clicking to book an appointment. So if I wanted to book an appointment here, all I need to do is select a client's name, select the appointment type that I want to book them in for, click confirm, and the appointment is automatically added into the calendar. So that's how the appointment book works. Pretty straightforward and simple. Anything that happens on our platform, you'll get a notification for. So if you're allowing online bookings and your client reschedules their appointment, you'll get a notification here. If an intake form has been received, or if a client has checked themselves in as arrived, or they've ordered something through you, you'll get all your notifications so you can easily monitor everything that's happening here as well. And that includes when a client books an appointment as well. All right, so that is the basic use of the My Appointments platform. The other thing I want to show you is our dashboard. Now, as somebody who's been in business for a really long time, practitioners are fantastic at what they do. Most of them aren't great marketers, and that is natural because we're not taught this sort of stuff in school. But as important as marketing is to get people in the door, client retention is so much more important. And these are basic skill sets that we didn't really get taught at school, and I think are so important for practitioners to know. There's little things that you can do that are going to help keep your clients happy and help them, encourage them to continue to refer to you as well. So what we've done is we've built in these automations. Now, when you create your appointments, you'll specify when an appointment is overdue. And you'll see here, I have 99 clients who are overdue for an appointment. Now, if you're somebody who does a myotherapist or a medial masseur particularly, and you know that your patients are in a repetitive strain job, we know typically that most of our clients will need a tune-up every 4 weeks. It might be 6 weeks for some, might be 8 weeks for others, and so on and so forth. However, we know that life gets really busy, and sometimes clients are meaning to contact you to book that appointment, but they never get around to it. And the worst thing about that is if they have let their appointment go for too long, you know when they come back to see you, it's going to take you so much longer to fix them, because typically if it's been there for a long time, you know there's going to be a lot more tension that needs to be relieved, and usually it takes a few more treatments. So if you want to follow up your clients, all you need to do is click on this button. It shows you a list of all of your clients who are overdue for an appointment, when their last appointment was, and then you can customize a message to send to your clients. Now you can send it to selected clients, or you can send it to all your clients. Same as client referrals. Now, this is a big thing for me. I think it's really important to reward your clients who have referred other clients to you. Now, you don't necessarily need to give them a discount voucher, but it's just an acknowledgement that they have taken the time to send someone to you. It's a really big compliment as a practitioner to have someone refer a client to you, and I think it's important that you acknowledge it. It also incentivizes them to continue that. But putting the incentive aside, people like to be thanked or acknowledged for doing something nice as well. So I think it's important that you acknowledge the referral. So we've got a little suggested message here. However, you can adjust that however you like. And then in a click of a couple of buttons, you can send a referral thank you to all of the clients on your referral list. I also think it's really important to follow up with any new clients. Now, why is that? First and foremost, when a new client comes to see you, a lot of the times they don't know what to expect. So in your consultation at the end of it, you should always tell them what they need to expect. But a lot of the times clients walk out feeling overwhelmed, or they just forget. And I think it's important to really follow up with your clients to see how they pulled up after their first session. You can also use that as an opportunity to reiterate any advice that you've given them and just to check in to see how they're doing as well. So again, you can send a message to select clients or all your clients, and the message can be fully customized as well. Same as any missed appointments and birthdays. I think it's nice to acknowledge birthdays. And then we've got this bulk marketing feature, which is not yet developed, but something that I'm really excited about from a marketing perspective. Now, the way that this will work is that once your clients are opted into SMS marketing, you can then do a SMS campaign to your clients who have back pain. So what our system does is it does a search through the client's notes, and it comes up with anyone that's had back pain mentioned in their client notes. And then you've got the opportunity to further filter it. You might say, I want to see clients who have back pain that haven't been to see me in the last 6 months. And then you can customize a message and say, hey, it's back pain week, or I'm doing a special on back pains this week. If you're feeling like you need a treatment, here's a link to book an appointment with me. And then what we're going to do is build a reporting feature where you can see how many of your clients opened the message, how many of them clicked on the link, and from that you'll be able to see how many people actually booked appointments as well. And what that means is you'll be able to fully track to see how well your marketing is doing, and then you'll know whether or not it was worthwhile to run that campaign, or whether you need to tweak messages as well. If you're wanting to do a talk on any specific topic, say you wanted to do something targeted at women, or if you wanted to do something targeted at athletes, for example, you'll have the ability to fully customize and send a message out to your clients based on whatever it is that you want to do as well. So that's a quick run through of the My Appointments platform. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the client's end as well. So this is an account for a client who's logged in from the web browser. Now, we do have an iOS and Android app already built for the patients as well as for practitioners too. So the first thing you'll see here is that we've got these notifications, and you'll see here that I made a recommendation to Claudia for her treatment. Oh, actually, let me take a step backwards on treatment notes just to show you how this actually works. So when you're in your client's file, you can put in their treatment notes here. Now, this is going to be customized so that you can come in and create whatever fields you want to ask for your initial and follow-ups consultations, but that's not ready yet. Now, what happens in your recommendation section? So this is typically where most people would see their plan. what you can do here is specify to your client exactly what you want them to do. So for example, if you're going to give them a stretching sheet, you'll be able to click one button here and then send the stretching sheet to them through the My Appointment system. And then you can customize your messages and say, I want you to ice your sacrum, or I want you to have an Epsom salt bath, and please follow the stretching guide that I've given you. Now, once you click save and close, those details will actually show in your treatment notes, so you don't need to re-enter them yourself, but any recommendations that you want to send to your client will be saved, but you can also click this button and it automatically sends it to your client's account. So when your client logs in to see their service providers, they'll see an entire history of everything that you've ever recommended. So if you've uploaded a stretching sheet, for example, they can just click here and view the stretching sheet and then follow any advice in chronological order that you've provided. From the service providers tab, they can easily click here to book an appointment with you. They'll select the appointment type. They'll click one button. They'll click confirm. You can see here your cancellation message appears. And then you just click confirm, and then they'll get a message saying that the appointment has been confirmed, and then you'll get a notification on your side to tell you that a new appointment has just been booked. From here, they can see all of their invoices as well. They can email them out themselves. They can print them themselves nice and easily. And they can also send you an email if you've allowed that option as well. Now, on their upcoming appointments, all of their upcoming appointments are listed here for you. So you can see here I've got a Pay Now button. There's no Pay Now button here, and that's because this appointment has already been paid. So provided you're using our payment provider, then as soon as an appointment is paid, then this little icon appears and they'll actually be able to access their invoice straight away. So all the health fund details can be listed here. So no need for you to send them out anything anymore. If you are doing manual claims, they can come in and send this over to their health funds nice and easily as well. Now, if your client wants to pay in advance to save you the time, then all they need to do is click this Pay Now button. And if they've elected to save their card in our system, it'll show here. So all they need to do is click their specified card, click Process Payment, and then the Pay Now button will disappear and they'll be able to see their invoice here as well. Once they've done that, you'll get a notification here to say that your payment has been received, and then this little paid stamp will appear here as well. Now, this is something that I felt was really important for several reasons. If you book back-to-back appointments, I was constantly running behind when I didn't have a receptionist. So by allowing your clients to pay that appointment, then you can just treat your clients and not have to worry about processing their payment. And what I found often is that when I finished a session, I'd take them out to the reception area and then I'd get their high caps card and I'd go through and process their payment. And then another conversation would start. Oh, did I tell you that my daughter's getting married? And naturally, you can't be rude, so you engage in that conversation. But by the time you process that payment, sometimes you might have to look for change or whatever else. You're then running 5 minutes late for your next client, and then that snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. So we allowed the functionality for your patients to be able to pay themselves. But again, if you do it yourself, it's as easy as just clicking this button, clicking invoice, and following the exact same process as well. Same with check-ins. I don't know about you, but for me, when I didn't have a receptionist, and again, I was booked back to back, I'd be listening out for the door, waiting for that person to walk in. And then I'd be really nervous that they're sitting out there and they don't know that they're there. And I know myself, when I've been to see practitioners who don't have receptionists, I'd be sitting out there and there's no one there to greet me. And I'm wondering whether they know that I'm even here for my appointment. So what we did was we built this ability for the clients to check in. So all they need to do is click this button to check themselves in. Once they've checked themselves in, they'll get a little icon here that says checked in. And then that appears on your side here just to say that your client has arrived for their appointment. And then you'll see this little tick button here. So you know your client's already out there and they're waiting for you as well. It just lets your clients know too that they know that you know that they're there as well. Now, if you are selling any products, you can make recommendations for products, and then your clients can very easily click and add and order those products. The payment comes to you. You get an order number. You just need to add the tracking details. You then click process, and then your client gets a notification to say that the order is on its way as well. The other thing we're doing is allowing for family appointments. So if you've got several people in the one family, then all of the appointments can be managed from within the app itself. So that's a quick rundown of that. Now, the last thing I want to quickly run through, and I'm only going to go through this one very briefly, is that we've thought of so many ways that we can think of that are going to really reduce administrative burdens, again, save you money, and also, more importantly, save you time as well. But even with all of the client retention strategies that we've built, you still need to find new clients. So what we're also building is a directory as well. Now, this is an advanced search directory, and the purpose of this is that we're trying to help practitioners connect more with their ideal clients. Now, for me as a practitioner, I've noticed over the last 5 to 10 years that people don't come in and say, oh, it hurts over here, or my neck hurts. They come in now with a self-diagnosis, and it's usually, I have carpal tunnel, or I have sciatica, or I've got wry neck. And sometimes they're right, but a lot of the times, they think that they've got a certain thing that we know that they don't have, and it could be a very easy fix with some trigger point work and some massage. So what we wanted to do is to help patients find more of those practitioners that they believe they need to see. So if you specialize in treating sciatica or headaches, then we can help you bring that forward so that you can find more of those types of clients as well. So when a client does a search, let's say they've done a search here for a myotherapist, what they can then do is filter out their results. So they can then type in sciatica. They can type in any specific services. If they're looking for someone that does taping, for example, then they can put all of their fields here and then click find my appointment. And then what our system does is it filters, checks through all of the profiles, and it finds the most corresponding profile for that patient. They can then easily just click a button to book an appointment, confirm, and it's easy as that. They do need to set up an account with us as well. And the reason why we've done this is because we didn't want people coming online and booking appointments and not showing up. So what we've done is two things. One is that they have to verify their mobile number so that we can make sure that they're a legitimate person. And two, if you choose, you can also request that they make that payment upfront. Now, that payment goes directly through our payment providers and into your account. It doesn't come through us. And we don't take a commission on any of those payments either. And then furthermore, if they wanted to do a search for sciatica here instead of the myotherapist, then they can go in and filter out the type of practitioners that they want to see. They can also specify a date and a time. So if they're looking for a myotherapist that specializes in sciatica, that's available at 2 o'clock on a Friday, as long as there's someone that meets that criteria, they'll be able to book in and find that practitioner on our system. Now, when they go through here, they can see all of your details. So all of your credentials, your social media icons, all of your contact details, some information about you, your association, any areas of interest, the services that you provide, gallery, hours, pricing, services. And then we've got these frequently asked questions. Now, I'm sure most of you will find that when your new clients want to book an appointment, there's typical questions that you get asked. So we've created this section where you can populate it yourself, so that everything on this page gives your prospective clients all of the information they could possibly need to confidently book an appointment on the spot. Now, if you don't have a receptionist, you also know how hard it is going backwards and forwards between clients to confirm an appointment. So we really wanted to create a profile that gives clients everything that we believe they need to want to book straight away, rather than having to contact you. However, if they do want to contact you, they still can. We're looking at importing Google reviews here as well. And then obviously there's a map here to show them where you're located. Now, the directory is going to be free for the first 12 months, and massage and myotherapy members will get a special deal as well for any featured profiles, and your association will talk you through that one soon. All right, Daniel, can you please load up the PowerPoint presentation, please? Excellent. So hopefully everybody can see that PowerPoint now. So the first thing I want to talk about is the upcoming features. You'll notice that we've got lots of features that we've already developed, but there's so many more things that we're still building in the meantime. We are going to be integrating with accounting packages, but it's not ready yet. So we're going to allow for reoccurring bookings. So if you like to book your clients every month for 6 months, for example, you'll be able to do that. We're building in classes and events. So if you run Pilates classes, or if you want to host a talk on, sciatica or anything along those lines, you'll be able to manage registrations and all that sort of stuff through the My Appointments platform. As I mentioned before, you'll be able to customize your treatment note templates. We're looking at having body charts that you can mark on. And we're also looking at voice or digital scribing. Now, I would love to hear from you guys. What would you like to see here? Would you be more interested in having a feature where you could scribble on an iPad and that uploads your notes for you? Or would a voice recording where you just talk into something and it transcribes your notes and it adds into your notes for you? So if you pop your little messages in, we'd love to hear what you would like. Patient journals, we're going to be building the ability for your clients to be able to keep track of their appointments as well. So that way, whatever they put in their notes to say how they responded to their treatments, they can then share it with you, and then you can click one button and add it into your subjective findings as well, just to save you that data entry when they're coming in to tell you how they pulled up. It also gives you a much clearer picture of exactly how they went after your session as well. We'll have an online store, so if you sell any essential oils or pillows or anything like that, you'll be able to manage the entire process through the My Appointments platform. You'll get a little code and that you can paste onto your website that says shop now. And then once they click on it, it brings up everything in your store, and everything is managed, like product quantities, shipping costs, everything is managed through the My Appointments platform. Now, we have a wonderful Massage and Myotherapy member who's a friend of mine. Alisa, if you're here, thank you for your suggestions. She was talking about gift vouchers. So we met last week and we had a discussion about it, and that's the ability for you to sell gift vouchers on your website. So what we've now done is strategized how best to streamline that process. So the way the gift vouchers will work is that your clients will go to your website. They'll specify whether they're purchasing a 1 hour massage, for example, or if they want to spend a dollar amount, might be $100 voucher, for example. Whatever they choose, the next step will be that they will put in the details of the person that the voucher is going to be going to, and then they can automatically send the voucher to the recipient, and of course you'll get a copy as well, or they can send it to themselves and then they can print it and hand it over to that person as well. They'll be able to customize the message too. So whatever, happy birthday, Joe Blogs, hope you enjoy your massage, that's fully customizable, and the gift voucher will have your branding on it, not ours. Now, what happens when that sale will come through? We're looking to build a gift voucher database, so that will give you a gift voucher a code, and then it goes onto a list, and then that list will show you all of the gift vouchers that have been sold, who it was intended for, who purchased it, obviously, the expiry date. And then when you go to process that gift voucher at the time of your invoice, you'll be able to select an existing gift voucher on our platform, and then that just naturally says that voucher has been used. So it'll make it really easy for you to manage and process all your gift vouchers too. Discount codes, we're going to be adding the ability for you to apply special offers. You might do a 10% birthday special, for example, and then you can easily apply that at the checkout, and then we'll be able to have reports that you'll build later on where you'll be able to print out and say, okay, well, I had 20 people booking in for this special promotion. I know that was worth my time. Buffer times haven't been built, and it's something that we've realized is quite a big deal for a lot of people, especially in the tactile therapies industry. However, you can manage the buffer times through our platform now just by extending the length of your consult. Your client cannot see that. It's only you that can see the length of your consult. But what you would do is you'd call your consult 1 hour massage, but you'd make it 1 hour and 15 minutes, and that gives you that 15-minute buffer time. However, because it is important, we are going to come back to this and add buffer times in as well. Launch, another big question. We've been working on this for 2 years and we're so excited and we can't wait to launch, but it's so important for us that when you come onto our platform that you get a really seamless experience. So we're in the final stages of testing now, and provided that we don't identify any additional bugs or anything that needs to be changed or fixed, then we will start onboarding within the next 1 to 2 weeks. We are going to start with sole practitioners first because multidisciplinary practices have additional requirements that we've built in, and those are that if you're a clinic owner, for example, you can change it so that your practitioners can only print reports for themselves. They can only see their own calendars, for example. They can't export any data out of our system like client lists, and they can't adjust any of the settings. So they take a bit more. They're already built, but we're still going through testing phase. So we're going to start with the sole practitioners first, and we are only launching our $0 plan. So as long as you want to use our integrated online payment gateway, then you'll be able to jump on board in our first phase. Now, with respect to the online payment gateway, there's not an amount that you have to process to be on our free plan. We've just put in a fair use policy. So provided you're doing something on our system, then you'll be able to stay on that free plan as well. So even if you only process one person a week or a month, that it's not going to affect which plan you're on. Now, we've gone through the prices roughly. As I mentioned, all SMS messages are 9.9 cents for Massage and Myotherapy members, and you only need to purchase a minimum of 20 at a time. When you first load onto our system, you're going to get 50 free SMS credits to get you going. And if you're a certified specialist, you'll get a bonus 50 on top of that as well. Frequently asked questions. I already use an existing platform. Can I transfer my data? The short answer is yes. We're still testing these processes right now, but you'll be able to import your client list. You'll be able to import your appointments. And we're looking to import accounting information as well, for example, invoices and whatnot too. Payment processing is really simple. When you sign up with us, we'll give you a little form that you need to fill out. It's all automated through an online platform, so you don't need to manually print anything, but you just need to put in all of your business details. You do need to provide proof of identity in order for our payment partners to accept that account, and they take 24 business hours typically to process that payment. As soon as you've filled in that form, you'll get access to the My Appointments platform. As soon as we hear from our payment providers, we'll activate you on the back end with your merchant ID, and then you'll get an email to let you know that your payment processing is ready to go. HiCaps, I've briefly explained, you need to go through MediPass. As I said, there are no fees for processing HiCaps payments through MediPass or through our platform. All of the data is stored in Australia with the most securest web host that exists on the platform, and we can't access any of your client details. We can't access any of your details except for the stuff that you've provided directly to us. Same as your clients, if they're creating a My Appointment account, any information they've provided directly to us, which is typically name, email address, and phone number, that is the only things that we can access right now, and we won't be able to access any patient data. So that way we can fully secure our systems as well. We're going to have live chat. We've got a help desk, and we've got a ticketing system so that you can send us, instead of sending an email, you just submit a ticket, and then that gives us a priority order of the emails that are coming through, and then we can easily respond with any questions that you might have. When you go through our live chat, we've also got a screen share ability, so we don't need to access your account, because with one button we can actually access your account through a screen share, and that way we never need to log into your account outside of your presence. That is pretty much it in the way of questions, or frequently asked questions that we get. If you have any questions, please start typing them now. And while you're doing that, let me tell you the wait list that we have right now. So if you're interested in using our platform, now we've already got quite a few members on board. If you're already on our wait list, you do not need to do anything. However, if you want to join our wait list, then please go to myappointments.app, and then you will find on the website, let me just find which one's the website, this one here. So all you need to do is click on this waitlist button, and then you'll click join the waitlist, and then a little pop-up will show up, and you just need to fill in your details there for us, okay? Once you've done that, you'll go into our back end. You'll get an email that asks you to fill in a brief questionnaire, and that's just for us to understand what features are the most important for you. For example, our two-way SMS feature is not finished yet. It'll be ready within the next 2 weeks. So if that's something you want to wait for, then when you join our waitlist and you fill in that question, we'll let you know when those features are available as well. That is it from me in terms of the presentation. We welcome any questions, so please go ahead and ask.
Thanks, Anil. Now, we had quite a few questions, so I'll start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Some of these you have already answered, but let's start at the top. So Tom has asked, what is annual fee?
There's no annual fees. It's free. There's not ever going to be a monthly fee or an annual fee to use the My Appointments platform. It's going to be free forever, provided you're signed up to use our integrated payment platform. If you want to sign up, if you don't want to do that and you want to sign up to the $25 plan, there is no annual fee. It's just a monthly fee for now. It's just $25 deducted from your account, and you can stop that anytime. There's no minimum commitment. Basically, if you sign up 1 month and decide not to continue, you can cancel your plan at any time.
Thank you. Now, Carolyn has asked, when you say $20 of SMS, is that per month or just a prepaid amount you have to buy?
Just a prepaid amount, so it's a minimum of $20, and those SMS credits will remain for 3 years. So when the credits expire, then you can go ahead and buy another 20.
Thank you. Now, I believe you've answered this one as well, but most of our clients pay by direct deposits, which costs nothing for either of us. Is there a minimum amount that you require us to process? Will we be able to access the fee structure info after the webinar?
To access the fee structure after the webinar, you just need to go to the website, and that's just myappointments.app, and then you can go on the pricing page and the fee structure is there. Now, we do have a dedicated page for your members as well. So if they just type in MMA at the end, then it brings up a little bit of the information. The video is there, and then there's a list of all of the features plus some frequently asked questions. So you can access more of the information about the pricing structure there and then see the difference between the two plans. Yes, direct debit or direct entry is free. We understand that. We don't have a minimum amount that you have to process, but we have included a fair use policy in our terms and conditions. Now, if enough people are using our integrated payment gateway, we believe that that's going to be enough to sort of help out the smaller guys who don't process many payments online. And therefore, we'll be able to keep the platform free for all of those people. But if you don't process many payments online, but you are buying SMS, for example, then that would be considered a fair use, and we wouldn't be changing our payment policies there. Now, while it is easier to get, not easier, while it is free to get direct debits, you also need to consider the time. And that is that you then need to check when your clients have paid you, that you then need to log into your My Appointments account, and then you need to process the payment. So for a few cents, all of that can be fully automated so that you don't have to worry about that.
Thank you. Now, Sophia has asked, is that 25 cents per transaction? You said could process on a weekly payment. So I assume that means if I see one client today, two tomorrow, etc., it can process into my account at the end of the week for just 25 cents as one process fee.
No, so there's two fees. The first one is the payment processing fee. So if you're used to using something like PayPal, they charge, I think it's 2.2% plus 30 cents per transactions. I think Square is about 2%. Our fees are 1.5% plus 25 cents per transaction, okay? If you've got High Caps Terminal now, you're paying a $25 a month, plus you're paying your transaction fees as well. With ours, there's no monthly transaction fee. There's no minimum fee, but you do have to pay that 1.5% plus 25 cents per transaction. Now, if you have really large volumes, like over 100,000, we're in a position where we can renegotiate with our payment processor. If we happen to have a lot of people processing small amounts, but collectively that amount is a lot, then we're also in a position to renegotiate with our payment processor, in which case we may be able to bring our fees down. But as a new platform without having processed any fees, so far, we've been able to already negotiate an incredible rate. So those fees are very, very reasonable in comparison to anything else that is out there, without the need for you worrying about paying a monthly fee or having to keep a terminal. It also means that if you're a mobile therapist, you can easily process those payments online as well. The other fee is the 25 cent deposit fee. So let's say you've processed 10 appointments, you pay your 1.5% plus 25 cents for the transactions that are processed through our system, so that being credit cards and debit cards. You do not pay that fee if you're processing a cash payment. So let's say you've got those 10 payments that have been processed through credit card, then there'll be a 1.5% fee plus 25 cents per transaction. And then if you elect to have daily deposits, the payment processor will also charge a 25 cent fee for that day when it processes those payments into your account. So they'll take all the money that you've collectively processed, they'll deduct their fees, and then they'll put that amount into your account either weekly or daily. So if you elect for a weekly deposit, you'll only pay that 25 cents once a week for the deposit fee, but you still pay that 1.5% plus 25 cents for the transaction fee.
Thank you. Now, Jerry's asked, is there a possibility for more than one clinic provider numbers? I assume he means multiple clinics on the app?
Yeah, you can provide a dedicated provider number, and then what we've done is we've allowed a section in the invoice where you can put all of your provider numbers. So there is a way to manage multiple locations. If you're processing the high caps through our system, if that's the question, then yes, you would let Medipass know those details, and then you can process the multiple provider numbers through Medipass. But on our system, you would actually have to put the provider number based on the location.
Awesome, thank you. A few more. Stephanie has asked, can that embedded calendar work on a Facebook page?
We haven't tested it out yet, but that is the intention, that it will work on Facebook. But we need to check with Facebook's integrations. Now, what you can definitely do is put a link so people can book. But Facebook also has the ability where you can click on a time and book through Facebook. That's the one we haven't tested yet. So your embed code, you just click out a certain chunk of that, and wherever you post that, people can click directly on that link and book straight away. But if you're talking about the messages that come up in Messenger where it says book an appointment at 2 p.m, that's the process we haven't yet tested.
Thank you. Lyndall's asked, do online bookings need approval? Can we add approval, or are they all automatic?
They're all automatic, but that's a good question. We hadn't considered the approval process yet. My business partner, Claudia, is in the room, so she'll be taking notes. And I should highlight to you guys that we're building this platform for practitioners. So we want to hear what it is that you want in order for us to be able to customize our features. So we're continuously going to be building and adding new features, but those features are going to come based on your suggestions. So when you log into the My Appointments platform, we're actually going to have a little section where you can see all of the upcoming features. You'll see when we're expected to launch those features, at what stage they're at, and you'll also be able to make any suggestions. So if there's something that we haven't done, it's either we haven't thought about it yet or we haven't built that functionality as of yet. So if there is feature suggestions, please feel free to pop them in the comments, or you can email us directly at hello@myappointments.app, or go to our website and contact us through the contact page as well.
Awesome, thank you. Now I've lost my place. Of course I have. Can we apply for high caps through this platform, or do we already need to have it?
Unfortunately, you can't apply through us. We tried to integrate it through our platform, but it wasn't an option that Medipass allowed. But interestingly enough, Medipass has been existing for, I think, about 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. And only just in the last couple of days, I believe, have they integrated with high caps. So let me explain the process, because it is quite painful, but the good news is that the amount of time and energy you'll save not having to worry about having a physical terminal, it's worth it. The service that they offer through processing is fantastic, but their customer service in signing up is a bit slow. So the way it will work is that you will go to Medipass, and Medipass, you'll fill in Medipass's details, and Medipass now collect the information that high caps require. Once you've provided all of that information, they'll give you a PDF that you need to download, and you just need to sign it and send it over to high caps. Once high caps gets that form, they approve it, and I've been told they take about 5 days. And then from there, you need to then contact Medipass and let them know that you've got this approval through high caps. So unfortunately, it is a little bit of a workaround, but it is worth the effort if you do want to process high caps online. Once that's done, you'll get an API key. That API key is plugged into the My Appointments platform, and then our system will just bring that pop-up up every time you process a high caps payment.
Thank you. Susan has asked, where is this information stored? And I assume Susan is referring to data.
Yeah, the data's all stored in Australia. And as I said, we as the people managing the platform don't have access to your client's notes or any of the information that you input into our system. It is going to be fully encrypted in the back end. At the moment, our developers could technically go in and look at some of the data, but there's no need for them to do that. It's only there just for testing purposes. So if we encounter a problem with a file, they may need to go in and access some of the data in order to customize the coding, but they're not there to look at the data that's actually there. It's just the coding. and then they'll get out. And once we've fully gone through beta testing, then that's going to be fully encrypted so that even our developers can't access it. But it's going to be end-to-end, which means on our web servers systems, nobody can access any of the data there either. And also your clients can't access the data that you input into our system. The only thing that they can access is the data that they've put into our system, and also any treatment notes that you have specifically sent them. So under that recommendations tab, if you put any information there, they'll be able to access that. But any of your other treatment notes, they won't be able to access any of that information.
Awesome, thank you. Sarah Rose has asked, are the intake forms printable?
The intake forms are going to be printable. The way it'll work is that once the intake form is populated, it's going to create a PDF of that, and then that's going to get stored into your client's notes. So when you click on it, you'll be able to print that directly.
Thank you. Now we have quite a few questions remaining. Are you happy to continue, Anil?
Go for it.
Cool. Maria has asked, will the app operate on iPad, tablets, as well as phones and desktop?
Yes, absolutely. So the apps are already built. We've built 4 apps, iOS and Android practitioner app and an iOS and Android patient app. So the apps are available on tablets as well as on your phones. And of course, you've got the desktop view that you can log into as well.
Thank you. Flo has asked, can the client see your treatment notes?
No, definitely not. They can only see the stuff that you send them, which is the stuff that you can populate in the recommendations. And if you choose not to send them that information, then you don't have to.
Thank you. Now, I think you answered this one already, but when you set up an appointment diary, can you have specific times, example, 8 a.m. between 9:15? Also, can you have certain times unavailable?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you still able to see my screen here if I'm onto the My Appointments platform now?
It's still on the slide, but if you...
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. I'll just explain it. Basically, when you go into setting up into the setup wizard that I showed at the start, it asks you to put in your availability. So you'll specify the starting and ending time, whichever day of the week that you're working. You'll put in any breaks that you've locked yourself out for, and then it saves it into our system so that your calendar actually shows you all of the times that you're not available. It shows up as grey, and then you only click on the bluey kind of parts, and then you can book your appointments through there as well. And that can be customized at any time.
Sounds great. Maria has asked, is it possible to take part payments when the client books online?
Yes, it's not developed yet, but we are building that in now as well. So you can take full payment, but if you only want to take part payment, what we're doing is building in logic that allows you to select whether you want a specific dollar amount or if you want a percentage amount as well. So it's not developed, but it is in development.
Thank you. Dimitra has asked, what about cryptocurrencies?
We haven't looked into cryptocurrencies. I must admit, I don't know the first thing about them, but you are the second person that's asked us. It's going to take quite a bit of customization to understand how that all works and then build that into our platform. So it's not something that we've looked at just yet.
Thank you. Sorry, just going through them.
No problem.
Andrew has asked, are we limited to 150 characters for the SMS? If the message is longer, are we charged for 2 or messages?
Yes, you are. That comes through the API that we've built in, not through us, and that's how we get charged. So the first SMS is 160 characters, and then every subsequent message from there is 153. Now, the reason why the character count drops down with each subsequent message is because in order to string the first message and the second message together as one message, it uses 7 characters. So that's why the second and subsequent messages are 153 characters. Unfortunately, that's how we get charged. So that's the way that we do it as well. But when you're sending the SMS, it actually gives you the character count and it tells you how many credits you're using to send that message. So therefore, you can go in and adjust it to try to reduce the character count to keep it to the 160 so that you are only sending one message at a time.
Thank you. Ian has asked, how has the system been road tested?
We have got myself and Claudia are the primary testers at this point, but we've also had somebody independently come in and test the apps, and we're in that stage now of having somebody else independently come in and test the web platforms as well. Now, we have looked at this on all 3 platforms, as in web browsers. We've looked at it in Firefox, we've looked at it in Chrome, we've looked at it in Safari. We've looked at the mobile view on several different devices to see how the mobile view of the web functions. And then obviously we've tested the app to the extremes to see if we can try to break the system. Now, our development team is a very large company. They've got about 200 employees, and they've also got a very stringent process. So they have a front-end development team, a back-end development team. They have a quality assurance team as well. So at each stage of anything being done, it's being tested as we go along. But we also wanted to get it independently tested because we know our system so well. Often when somebody new comes along, they might try to do something that we may not have thought to do. So we're also getting it independently tested so that we can try to iron out any bugs. And that's been part of our delay right now, is that when we've had independent testing done, they've given us some feedback that made us think of a better way to allow that feature to be presented. And so we've gone back in and refined every step of the way so we can make sure we deliver a super user-friendly experience.
Thank you. When a client replies to an SMS, does that only come through via the platform?
Yes, unless you put your mobile number and ask them to reply directly to you, then if they reply to a SMS that's been sent through our platform, it has to go back to that SMS, to that same mobile number that sent the message in the first instance, and then that will show up on your dashboard as a responded message. But the incoming message is free, so we don't charge for that one, unlike some other service providers. So you send the message out, you pay for that message. If they reply, there's no fee for that one.
Thank you. Adele has said, this all looks wonderful. Is there a system for retro loading clients' info for client base? Some of my clients I've had for 15 years.
Yeah, it's the same feature, whether your clients have been around for 15 years or one day. When you onboard them onto our platform, there's an import feature, and you just need to click and specify what you're importing. For example, if you're importing your client list, then we'll give you a data format that we want you to follow. And you can download that as a CSV file, and then you need to make sure that what you're uploading into our system matches our fields. It's a fairly easy process, but if you've got an extensive list of clients for 15 years, you just need to make sure that all the data that you're putting into that CSV file matches the exact format that we need. And then once that's ready, you just upload that file and it pre-populates everything for you. So we're in the process of fine-tuning that now to see if we can make it just a little bit quicker, but as it stands right now, you will be able to upload your client list onto the system. What will happen then is that your clients will get an email from us, and that will be an invitation to set up a My Appointments account. Now, we've gone to a lot of time and energy to try to create this client portal because we really want to try and put some onus back onto the clients to manage some of their own things. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that 62% of patients tend to book appointments outside of usual trading hours. And so we figured that if we can make the process really, really simple for them, we'll be able to increase bookings. But also we want to try to reduce the things that patients come back to you for. For example, can I have a copy of my invoice, or what did you recommend? They can do all of that through their own app or their web login as well, just to save that time and energy for you as a practitioner.
Thank you. We'll do a few more. Susan has asked, is this software accountant friendly for tax returns?
Not yet, but it will be. It's something that we're delaying because there's so many different platforms that exist out there for accounting packages. From our experience, Xero seems to be the most popular. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait till we've launched, and we're going to survey people and see that if that's correct. And if that's the case, we'll build an API. But we've looked into this quite extensively, and other booking systems that are integrated with Xero have had a serious amount of trouble with the two systems talking to each other. And so what we're going to do is develop something that's will be basically hopefully fail-proof, and that is that you export a file out of our system that's specific to Xero, and then you upload it to Xero, and then it should just be a matter of one-click upload, and everything is imported for you automatically. It's going to take a bit of time to get the API working, so we've delayed the launch of that and we're going to push forward with building the files that you can easily export and upload into your system. And we're also hoping to find some solutions around that also save practitioners time and money as well, but that's still a little while off for now.
Thank you. Now, we might have already seen a glimpse of this, but Michelle asked, is there an option to choose the payment option the client has used, i.e. cash, bank transfer, card?
Yeah, when you're going to process the invoice, we've just redesigned this. It's just in development at the moment, but it'll give you an option of if you're integrated with our payment provider, the first option will be process it online, but then you've got the option to process something outside of the My Appointments platform. So if it's a cash, if it's a deposit, a direct deposit, if it's any other means that the client has paid offline, then you'll be able to process that at the time of invoice, and it's stored on our systems as that type of payment. And just to reiterate, there are no fees in that as well.
Thank you. Vince has asked, how does your system allow for those clients that turn up late for their appointments?
We haven't really thought of anything in the means of doing anything. If you've got a specific suggestion, I'd like to hear what you think we might be able to do to help that. One thing we have thought of doing, but we haven't yet tested, is geolocation reminders. Now, this is reliant on your client having their location services turned on, but we know that you can send a reminder 24 hours in advance, for example. Now, with our system, you can send 2 reminders. You can send the first one 7 days in advance via SMS or email. You can send another one 24 hours or 12 hours before the appointment, so you can specify that in your settings. However, even when you send a reminder 24 hours in advance, we all get really busy and sometimes you're at work and you just lost track of time. So we're looking at implementing the geolocation reminder. So what happens is it takes into account traffic conditions, and it'll say, Claudia, your reminder to leave, in 15 minutes, otherwise you'll arrive late at your appointment. So by sending them the reminder and letting them know what the traffic conditions are, we're hoping that means that they're more likely to actually show up on time. Aside from that, we haven't been able to think of any other ways that we can change that or help practitioners so that patients show up on time. But if you have any suggestions, we're absolutely open to them as well.
Thank you. Now, let's, look, we'll do a few more and then we might call it a day at 1:30. Nicholas has asked, can classes also be booked online by multiple clients?
Yes, but it's not developed yet, but certainly something that's big on our list. Now, I'm a Pilates instructor, so that's something that I certainly wanted access to as well. So basically the way the classes and events feature will work is that you'll be able to create packages. So for example, if you want to sell a 10 pass of Pilates, then your client can go in through our systems and purchase that. And then we're going to look at setting up auto reminders to let them know that they've got 1 class less, for example. And then we present them with your other options to purchase a pack or to set up a direct debit. We will have the direct debit feature all fully integrated through our system as well. And then your clients can keep track of how many of their passes that they've used through their own app. They can actually check themselves in as soon as they walk in the door, and then that updates our system to say that once they're checked in, that's used 1 of their passes, for example. So that will all be fully integrated onto the My Appointments platform, and it is one of the things that we are going to try and prioritise. However, there are still some things that we want to build specific to practitioners that need to be finalised before we move on to that feature.
Sounds great. Nicholas has also asked, can the prepaid feature for clients be used to pay the gap from high caps?
Yes, correct. It can be. The prepaid amount will be stored on our system. And then when I say stored on our system, it's stored as a data. Let's say you've got, $20 in credit, for example. And then when you go to process that payment, you'll be able to link that credit onto the gap payment and process it that way as well.
Thank you. Nicola has asked, is there a trial version of My Appointments available to have a bit of a try before committing to My Appointments?
Yeah, we're going to have, with our $25 plan, you get 1 month free, and you don't need to provide any credit card details for that. So once you log into that, you get 1 month to use the system. And then if you want to switch over to the free plan, you can easily do that as well. However, we're not releasing that just yet because we're still in the very early stages of beta. We're only looking to get the $0 plan sorted and make sure that the payment integration is working. Once that's working, then we'll finalize all the remaining features on the $25 plan, and then you can get in and access the system to do the trial run. If you can't wait until that's ready, get in contact with us and we can see what we can do to show you the platform so you can have a little bit of a play with it in the meantime.
Thank you. I think we might, hang on, let's do one more. Okay, last one. Nice product. One, both recording and Scribble. I just have a couple of questions. One, do you have Amex? Two, what's your service support 24/7? Is there a different consulting for different consultants? GST inclusive.
Just when you set up your services, you'll specify whether they're not they're GST inclusive or not, and that's set at a service level. So if you've got one practitioner who's not registered for GST, for example, then you can customize it based on the practitioner and the service as well. I'm not sure what you mean by the consultancy question. Can you just read it back to me again, Daniel, so I can do that?
Is there different consulting for different consultants?
Consulting. I don't know if you mean by services.
Yeah, I assume Alana is referring to maybe a clinic with different, a multimodality clinic with different staff.
Yeah, absolutely. When you set up your services, you can put as many as you like. You can put naturopathy, herbal medicine, bone therapy, any services that you want to offer. You can, you've got an unlimited amount of services that you can add onto our system. And if you're on our free plan, you'll also get unlimited service providers that you can add onto our system as well. So there'll be a little button that you can easily toggle between the two calendars or multiple calendars. As well. So that's all, seamless and easy to process through our system as well. I think there was a couple of other questions that she had that I might have missed too. Daniel, was there something else?
Amex, do you support American Express?
Amex we haven't included because the fees are too high, but if it's something that gets asked a lot, we'll go back to our payment acquirers and find out what their best rate would be for us to process Amex. But for now, we've only started with Visa and MasterCards.
Thank you. And the last question Alana asked was, what's your support service? So I guess periods.
Yep. So the help desk will obviously be available 24/7. You can go in and we're trying to create as an extensive list as possible. When you go in there, you'll basically type in your answer, your question, and then you'll have video instructions as well as text instructions on how to do whatever it is that you're after. We are looking to get 24/7 support, but that's obviously going to take quite a bit of time before we can train people up in learning the My Appointments platform. So in the short term, we'll have support available periodically throughout the regular trading hours. But in terms of being available after hours, it's going to take us a little bit of time to do training to get other people up and running. But yes, the intention is to have 24/7 live chat support.
Thank you, Anil. I think we might call it a day there. Just quickly, I've launched a offer on the screen. You should see a little pop-up that says join the waitlist today. If you click that waitlist, it will provide you with more information about how to join. Anil, any final words before we...
No, thank you everybody for your time. Just a reminder that we are here to create a system that truly works for you. So if you do have any features or suggestions, any comments or anything that you feel might enhance your experience on the My Appointments platform, please reach out because we'd love to hear from you. Thank you to Massage and Myotherapy Australia for the opportunity to do this presentation as well.
Thanks, Anil. And thank you for everyone for attending today's webinar, Introductions to My Appointments. If you have any further questions, please contact info@massagemyotherapy.com.au. You will receive a follow-up email within 24 to 48 hours with a link to view a recording of today's webinar. Please note you will have access to the recording for 2 months. On conclusion of today's webinar, we ask everyone to complete a quick survey, which will appear on your screen shortly. Completing surveys assists the association in developing content for the CPE calendar. On behalf of the Board of Directors, Anil and myself and the rest of the team at Massage and Myotherapy Australia, thank you for joining us today and have a great rest of your day.